Hey, it's John with the Last Chance Riders. This is our first gear review video. And I'm talking to this mic because we're recording all the audio into Pro Tools so it'll sound good on the YouTube video. But here's the gear review we're going to do. This is a 1968 Fender Bassman. I was on Craigslist. Well, let me back up. So DeWitt blew up his amplifier at the last show at Six's Tavern. And we got a show Wednesday. And it's Labor Day weekend, so we couldn't get his amp fixed in time. So I had to, hustle and find another amp. And I got on Craigslist, and I saw this 1968 Fender Bassman. If anybody, if you're familiar with vintage Fender amps, it's really hard to beat them. You're either a Marshall guy or a Fender guy. This is what I normally play. This is a 1968 reissue of a deluxe reverb. It's a great amp, but there's just a little something special that these vintage amps give. And if you look closely at this amp, you'll notice that, you normally have two inputs here and two inputs here. But on this amp, you'll notice one of the inputs has a volume knob on it. And that's because this amp has been converted. Normally they come with 6L6 tubes. And this amp, a Marshall circuit has been added to it, and the tubes have been changed to EL34s. Come around back here, and I'll show you. If you look right here in the back of the amp, you will see here's the power tubes. And if you can zoom in there and see them, see these are EL34s. And it also says, that one says Siemens, that one says Van Nuys. These are USA-made tubes, so gosh, those are probably 30 years old, which is kind of cool. There was also an effects loop added, effects send and return. But really cool amp. So channel 1 has the Marshall circuit on it, and channel 2 is the original Fender Bassman channel. So the way I've got it set up on the pedal board, see, I was having to use a distortion pedal, a boost pedal with my 68 Deluxe Reverb, but with this amp, I'm just using an A-B splitter. This switches between channel A and channel B. Input of my guitar comes here, and the outputs go to channel A and channel B. And what I've been playing with it, and it turns out this works like a master volume setup. You have a master and you have a volume. So this is basically a gain knob for the Marshall circuit. And then channel 2, I just have that set on 7. Now, this is a 50-watt head, so that's going to be extremely loud, right? So I've got it in a 90-watt Mesa Boogie cab, but it's going to be extremely loud at 50 watts. So this contraption here is handmade here in Atlanta. It's called an Acorn attenuator. I think they call it the 11-uator. But I've got it backed off. This attenuates the signal. This is full wide open from the amp, and I've got it cranked down 2 notches. So that lets me set the volumes high, but then back off the output to the speaker. And I'll demo what this amp sounds like. I'm going to play it through. This is a R0 Les Paul 1960 reissue. I think it's got some burst bucker custom wound pickups in it. So this first channel that you're going to hear, let me find a pick. This first channel I use as my rhythm channel, right? So now I'm going to switch over to the lead channel. And I think that's a little weak sounding, right? You notice there was a boost, but I'm going to use this Ross compressor, right? This is a 1978 Ross compressor. I found out about it because Trey Anastasio used to use one of these. But check out this tone here. This is on the lead channel now. That's a badass amp right there. All right, so that's the demo of the 1968 Fender Bassman that has the Marshall EL34 mod. So I wanted you guys to hear what it sounds like on one of our tracks. So I went ahead and pulled up a scratch recording from rehearsal and went ahead and overdubbed all my guitar parts using that amp. And that's what you're going to hear next on this recording.